On the island of Newfoundland, upon the southwest coast, lies the little town of Virgil, to whom I'll sing this toast. There are so many islands that lie just off her shore, and when the cold north wind blows, you can hear the billows roar. The people from the village make their living from the sea. They like their independence, it shows that they are free. Some fish in their small boats in the wind, the rain and sleet, while others make their living on the offshore trawler fleet. They've known their share of tragedies down through the years, and when the memories overcome, they show their grief with tears. For they have lost some loved ones to the furies of the seas, for heartaches and heartbreaks are locked in memories. This village, it's got beauty carved on its rugged shore. 7 miles of pure white sand, who could ask for more? The mountains and the valleys where the rivers run so fast, and the salmon rise to the sportsman's fly as he makes another cast. Now the people of this village love their native home, for anyone who goes away most surely will return. Just like that lifelong mystery, the answer you won't know. What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul? What makes this rugged village burn so deeply in your soul?
Good evening, and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have Aunt's Island Day, fire at the town garage, bike rodeo, mural painting, renovations at the community centre, music at the museum, Sand and Sea update. Please stay tuned for these stories after this. Any organization that would like to book a TV bingo for the upcoming 2010-2011 bingo season can call me at the BBS office, 886-2935. On Sunday, August the 8th, was Aunt's Island Day. A crowd of people went over to Aunt's Island to enjoy an evening of fun and entertainment. Here is a clip from that day. On Saturday, August the 14th, around 1 a.m., a fire broke out in the garage of the town council. It appears the fire was caused by an electrical malfunction of the pickup that was stored in the building. The extent of the damage is not known just yet. The building is now being cleaned up so that the insurance investigators can assess the damage. Most of the damage was contained to the garage, with the ground search and rescue building suffering from smoke damage. The fire department would also like to thank the Canadian Rangers for their help and the public who helped with the traffic control. On Wednesday, August 18th, the RCMP held their annual bike rodeo at the school parking lot. 13 children participated. The RCMP officers, along with 4 of their summer students, taught the children about hand signals and bike safety. The children also had to go through obstacle courses. A barbecue of hot dogs and hamburgers were served afterwards.
Stop, okay? Where are you going to stop?
Wait, get everybody to go together, okay?
Okay, so you're just going to go through here, avoid the pylon, and stop.
Over the past several weeks, Travis Stamford has been painting a mural on the Burgeo Fish Market. The original picture from the mural is of push-through. Travis said it took him about 40 hours to do this mural, and it was his first time doing one like this. Some of the detail was a bit tricky with the grooves of vinyl siding. The paint Travis used was regular exterior water-based paint. If you get a chance, drop by the fish market and have a look at the fine detail that is involved in this painting. The Burgeo Community Center is in the process of being renovated. A crew of 5 men have been working on the building now for a couple of weeks. I took my camera up to have a look at the work being done. Levi Domney, who is the foreman, explained to me what has been done.
You do it. This here is supposed to be the worst site, and no doubt this has been tore. Well, everything you see right there was all rock. It tore all rock over, all on this wall, and that end back there, the southern end, same thing, all rock. But hopefully now this week we'll have this side took care of.
Okay.
And we'll get the heat over ourselves a little bit because we've been having some good weather right now. And we could get a week of rain, but we have got a bit of work to do inside. We got some jacks to put up underneath her, and a few windows put in. We got 5 windows to go in, so that's inside work when we get to dirty weather.
Okay.
So we're trying to get rid of ourselves outside, so when the dirty weather do come, and I'm sure we're going to have it,
Yeah.
so we'll be able to pedal like that. We got another bridge put on out front, new wheelchair that, and 2 little things like that. But basically, that's about it, I guess.
But how long do you think it's going to take altogether?
Well, we got 12 weeks.
12 weeks, is it?
Yeah, and we're gonna spoil the 12 weeks, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping we'll have it done in 12 weeks, because it is, as you can see, it's a good bit of work. But we're a lovely bunch of boys. I will say that.
How many of you is there?
5 of us.
5 of you?
Me and Gary and Kyle and Robert and Stanley.
Okay.
And wonderful bunch of boys, like myself. Between the 5 of us, we managed to get at what we do.
Yes. thanks so much.
Yeah.
On Thursday night, Birdview Museum hosted a night of local talent with Travis Dunford. A nice crowd of people gathered together at the museum and listened to Travis sing. Here's a clip from that night.
We're going out the same way we came in. No matter who you are, where you've been, makes no difference who you are, Skid Row Joe or superstar. You're going out the same way you came in. Oh, we come into this world without a thing, and we leave it just as naked as we came. If you drive a coupe de ville, own a mansion on a hill, don't mean nothing when St. Peter calls your name. Well, we're going out the same way you came in. Someone will notify your next to kin. Some will weep and some will moan, some will spit upon your stone. But you're going out the same way you came in. Yeah! And they'll lay you out in all your fancy clothes, and they'll figure just who'll watch you home. Then the lawyer lays their nest, and the kinfolk gets to rest, 'cause you can't take it with you when you go. Oh, we're going out the same way you came in. No matter who you are, where you've been, makes no difference who you are, Skid Row Joe or superstar. You're going out the same way you came in. One more, here we go. Oh, you're going out the same way you came in. Makes no difference who you are, where you've been. Makes no difference who you are, Skid Row Joe or superstar. You're going out the same way you came in. Yeah, going out the same way you came in. Oh, we're all going out the same way we came in.
Doris Pink, chairperson of the Sand and Sea Committee, came by the studio to talk about some issues that she had. Good evening. With me tonight I have Doris Pink, the chairperson of the Sand and Sea Committee, and she has some issues that she'd like to address. Good evening, Doris.
Hi, Maxine.
So what things are going on now?
Well, tell you the truth, girl, when I was down and gave my report at the end of the Sand and Sea, I thought, well, okay, I won't be on BBS anymore now for another year anyway. But then we got this letter. It was dated August the 1st, which was the last day of our festival. And it's an unsigned letter, you know, it's no name on it.
Okay.
So my first inclination was just to throw it away like council would do, or like anybody sensible would do probably. You know, if somebody doesn't have the guts to put their name to what they want to say, maybe you shouldn't even deal with it. And if it had been just sent to me, that's probably what I would have done. But it was sent to a number of people on our committee, and like myself, they're all volunteers. And it's a little bit upsetting when you have somebody taking the time to go and print up a 2-page letter and mail it out to certain people. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about this afternoon. Now,
Okay.
feel free to interrupt me anytime you want, anything. There's some things that this person, and I have no idea if it's male or female, that they say in this, like I say, this 2-page letter, that some of the things that I feel are worthy of mentioning. You know, it's not that we're not open to suggestions and new ideas. Like, we got the suggestion box put out there, and you can just jot an idea in there and not bother to sign it, because that's what it's for, is to make suggestions. But like, this person starts off by saying things like, it seems that the same talent all the time and gets to be repetitive year after year. I would have thought that with a fresh committee, you could have come up with some fresh ideas. Now, I'm sure some of the talent's the same. I think Ron Cormier may have been here before, and same as the other guy that we had standing in, O'Quinn. But like, I don't think, well, I don't know that Clayton Travis had done the talent show before. I don't know. I certainly know that Route 480 hadn't played at the dance before, and Travis Dunford had never played, you know, in the afternoon. So there was some new talent. So, like, you know, this is just like a little petty thing. And then they get on to, and this one really irks me. Like, it says about the dance on Saturday night, and it says, was it necessary to charge an arm and a leg to get in? $10 per person, really? I can understand charging something like that if you had the Irish Descendants or the Fables or something. But seriously, let's not get greedy with things. And you know, that really bothered me. Like Route 480 played at the dance. They started playing at 10 o'clock. They went through right till 20 past 3 without a break. Everybody that I've been talking to since then really enjoyed the music. I mean, you know, that's young people, old people, everybody. Yes. You know, like $10 on the door is what it was always, $10 on the door to get into the Sand to Sea dance. And at the same time, you know, you could go in with your $20 and you could get 7 drinks. So, you know, like, because, you know, your 7 tokens, say, for drinks or beer or whatever.
Yes.
So, like, when you take it all into perspective, and the fact that they didn't have to pay to get in any other time, I thought it was eminently reasonable, you know. So that's the one thing. And then she gets on talks about, now this thing here too, it says, I give you credit for thinking about the children and having things for them to do, but the prizes were less than desirable, and some of them were outright disgusting. Steak knives, beer glasses, really. And then a little bit later on she talks about you could walk away with big teddy bears and cool things, and your risk right now is nothing. And like, yes, there were some of the prizes were steak knives and beer glasses. Beer glasses were only there on Sunday though, because they were donated, and we used them as prizes in the games. And like, I don't know, like you said, I'm assuming this person's got children and had them at the games, but if she did or if he did, they would know that the prizes were laid on the table, and the kids who won could select whatever prize they wanted. You know, if you want a small prize, it's this side, big prize is that side. So if your child took steak knives or beer glasses, it's because that's what he or she chose to take, unless it was late on Saturday evening when we didn't have very many prizes left. And the other thing is that, you know, most of the prizes were for children. Like, you know, we had those swimming rings and floaters and balls and all, like, little gun sets and dolls and all those kinds of little things, right? So most of the prizes were geared to children. But some children, and, you know, I know this because I did have 2 children, they're adults now, but, you know, and some children are not all about me. Like, sometimes when they get 2 or 3 prizes, they like to win something for their mom or their nan or their aunt or something like that. So some of them, like, would like to get a pack of steak and I say, hey, Mommy, look what I got for you, you know,
yes, exactly.
that kind of thing. So again, and, you know, prizes, yes, you know, we didn't get all, like, $3, $4 prizes, but, like, some of our large prizes, like we had the big beach towels and stuff and umbrellas and things like that, you know, like, they were, I picked them up, so I know, like, they were like $3.99, $3.50, those kinds of things. And when you're having games that you pay $5 to play 5 games, well, I really don't know what you expect to get for prizes, you know. No, you don't win, and she goes on to talk, or he, I keep saying she, but there's no indication that it is a female. But she does say things like, I forget what it's, it's a shame that you hardly win at the games anyway. And when you get a 50-cent piece of garbage to walk away with, well, you know, I don't know, but you were there, and if you saw the kids running around, they all had their arms loaded with prizes. So somebody won something. We bought a lot of prizes, and they were all gone. So, you know, and she mentions things like, it's like a little, I saw kids getting turned away from games because they were a little older than 6, which left them completely out of the festivities. Well, there was only one game there for children 6 and under, and that was the fish pond. And that was simply because you were allowed to fish until you got a fish, right? So it was geared to the little ones, you know, let them stay as long as they wanted until they actually got a fish. So this is just inaccurate, like, you know, and again on the games, she talks about things like, the lollipop tree. She said, does an 11-year-old really want to play a lollipop tree? I wouldn't think so. Bring in some cool games, three-legged races, potato races. Well, you know, like those sack races and three-legged races, like the other Santa Sea committee had tried to have those. They tried for 3 or 4 years in a row to get those things on the go, and the kids just weren't interested in it. Like, you know, these are the things they do at their school sports days and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
But they didn't really want to do them there. And she talks about lollipops, and she says, and as for the kids that don't win, maybe they can at least walk away with a lollipop or candy. I mean, a bag of lollipops costs $4, and there's a couple of hundred in there. Now, I don't know where she does her shopping. I don't know where she gets her lollipops for 2 cents. Like, you know, which is what that is. Like, you can't even get the suckers for 2 cents, let alone the lollipops that we use in the lollipop tree. Like, they're 7 cents each, like, you know, if you just check out the prices of them. So, like, it was just some ranting that he or she was getting on with. And then she was down, she says, I was honestly expecting great things from the committee this year and was truly disappointed. And the word around town is that a lot of people felt the same way. I only hope that people speak up to the committee as much as they speak up around town. Now, I've had a lot of positive feedback from the Santa Sea. Like, you know, people stopped me, like Matt Parsons mentioned on the road the other day, like that was lovely. Doris Miles took the time to stop and say that she thought it was, you know, a lovely Santa Sea and congratulated us. And like June put the message on from the you know, the Museum Heritage Committee, you know, congratulating the Santa Sea Committee. So like I have gotten a lot of positive feedback. Yes. So, you know, and again, I'm not saying that we did everything right, and I'm not saying that there's not room to improve, but like it seems kind of narrow-minded to write something like this and not sign your name to it, and then just to send it out to people, you know, who honestly have done the best that they can, like for the first time, you know.
Yes, it is a learning experience.
Well, absolutely, you know. So, like I say, we got the suggestion box out there. We're willing to learn if you have things, and like, you know, she says things like, I keep saying she, but like, you know, whoever wrote this, it says, take some pride in the community, take some pride in the tourists that come here to see our beautiful beaches and scenery. Not have people walking away talking about some of the negative things I just mentioned. Like she mentions, bring in a comedian or a magician. Now, again, other groups have tried to have comedians here. They had Jimmy Flynn at the arena, and you know, like there wasn't a very big crowd there. June is a number of occasions that tried to get like Ron James in, and like it hasn't come through yet. Amy Ouse was here, and like at one time she's saying, like, you know, cost $10 is too much to go to the dance, but then say get in a comedian or a magician, and you know how much you think that's going to cost, like, you know. So are you saying that you're willing to pay big money for somebody who's from out of town, but not for somebody that's in town? That's kind of narrow-minded, if that's what you're saying, you know. So, like, I really don't know. And she mentions, or he, she said, everyone out there has the internet these days. Google some of the bigger fairs and see what they're doing. Well, I don't know what they're doing, and I didn't Google some of the bigger fairs. I don't know. But, like, I know, like, from talking to friends of ours, like the Big Ale Festival in Cox's Cove. Now, they have a $40 pass, weekend pass, which is, you know, translates into $10 a night if you want to use it that way. And they can, there's no nights that they can bring in their own booze if they're or their own refreshments. Like everything's gonna be bought on site. And I do know for sure that drinks cost $4.50. So, you know, like I didn't Google that, and I don't know what the prices would be like if I'd have Googled somebody else. But, you know, it was just like a lot of things she says, like, you know, and she says things like, well, you know, there's more to a successful festival than making money, and I agree that there is. There certainly is. But if we don't make money, then nobody's going to run it. Like, you know, we are a volunteer organization. We're Lions Lioness. We're doing a major renovation project on the community center right now, you know, and that's where most of this money is going to be going back into that project. you know, and there's other things that we do throughout the year. So yeah, we do have to, our bottom line, we do have to make money, and we thought this was a very successful, certainly was a very good fundraiser, and we thought it was a pretty successful festival, but obviously not everybody, this person doesn't feel the same way. So anyway, I just wanted to you know, mention those things, and you know, as much for my committee members, like I say, I guess, you know, if you've been teaching for 30 years, you're sort of used to like some of this kind of feedback sometimes, but not everybody is like feels the same way as I do about it. You know, some people are thought, oh my God, you know, you see this letter they sent us, like, you know, what do they mean, what are they saying about us, that kind of thing. So
It'll make you feel like quitting.
yeah, you know, and I'm never one to back down from something like that. So, like I said, you know, to me, it's not worth the paper it's written on, because you didn't have the guts to stand behind it. But nonetheless, you know, I was chairperson of our committee, so I thought it was probably, for the sake of the committee and to make everybody feel a little better, that we should just discuss it and let people know that it is out there. But, you know, and he or she, whoever they did say that, I think maybe you can look into, I don't know, maybe it's something you can look into for next year, if there even is one next year. Well, yeah, I can think there would be one next year. So, you know, like we're not going to, you know, get all hurt or anything like that.
No.
And say pack it all in or anything. But, you know, it's just kind of small-minded on somebody's part, I think.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad you brought that to our attention, because there's people out there who will be wondering about it as well, right?
Yes, that's right. And I'm sure, like, people have heard, you know, because they were saying, did you get the letter, did you read the letter, or whatever, right? So, like, sometimes the best way to deal with things like that is just to bring it all up in the front and say, well, yeah, there is a letter, it's 2 pages. Mine was in black ink, but the person must have run out of ink, because everybody else's copy is in blue, I think. So their printer must have run out of ink. But anyway, yeah, that's some of the stuff that person said. And
so it was the same letter. Everybody got
the same letter, yeah, same one. So.
Oh, okay. Well, very good, Doris. Well, thank you so much for dropping by and bringing that to our attention.
Okay, thanks for having us, Maxine. Give us a chance to get that out and let people know what people are saying.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
This concludes our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.